Now this illustration deals with isolated equipment grounding conductor in accordance with 408.40, but the exception has been applied to 408.40. Now, to start off with, let's look at the note right above the service equipment. Now let's review that note together. The isolated equipment grounding conductor shall also be permitted to pass through boxes, raceways, or other enclosures of metal without being connected to such enclosures. Now, if you happen to be routing the isolation ground to computers and sensitive electronic equipment through junction boxes, pull boxes, device boxes, then 250.146D as in dog, right below the illustration of the panel board to the right. And you have your title head, Isolated Equipment Grounding Conductor, IEG, shall be insulated. And then notice 408.40 exception would allow it also to pass through this panel board without connecting to that grounded bar you see. And in course 312.8A says if you're passing through, you only can take up 40% of the gutter space, starting with the bottom of those circuit breakers down. Now we're just saying this, but say for example, that was an 8 by 12 by 4 inch deep. Then you would take 8, say times 12 if that's the dimensions, times 4, and that would give you that gutter space after you multiplied by 40%. So you made splices of it though. You made splices and isolated it. Then your 312.8A says you would take 75% of that gutter space just for the splice, not the rest of the conductor insulation and so forth. So we look at those. Now, this is where you're pulling through. Now notice, if I card and plug connect the equipment where I'm routing to, then I do use 250.146, D as in dog. But if I hardwire into that equipment, then I could use 250.96B. And these two methods are illustrated in great detail in Chapter 16 of the Stallcup's Electrical Design Book, Chapter 16. Now, I'm not telling you to buy the book, but if you want to see the illustrations and maybe improve your knowledge on all the other sections and everything that are referenced there in standards, then I recommend you do it. But this is a choice and a decision that's made by electrician or designer as well as an inspector. So I figure 7-21 deals with the isolation equipment grounding conductor, the IEG, in accordance with 408.40 exception, where it's routed through that subpanels you see there without ever connecting to any of the metal in that panel board.